All right. What's going on, world? What's going on, Tube? It's your boy back at it again. One more time. Black King 91. Back in this thing one more time. This one, I wanted to drop this video about how, see, I be getting like real, like in depth, like with this shit. So, like, I don't be wanting to hear a bunch of spiritual hoopla. I be wanting to hear things like words I can actually like apply like to the way I'm thinking like at the current moment. And like see things unfold from there. But this video, I wanted to make this video about how the mind runs off of symbolic. The the mind run off of symbols. Like when you look at shit, like you make a symbolic correlation in your mind as to what it is like that you're looking at and how you should deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like whether this is a place, whether this is a thing, whether this is a person, whether this is how you feel on the inside, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that you approach different things, like in life, you know what I'm saying? Like really like span across your whole life and think about like the way that you may approach things like in your mind and like within yourself and like what it is like that you're thinking about. Life, different things throughout life. Just like put that there. But really kind of what I want to say to the mass conscious is that basically I feel like okay, a lot of like a lot of like what we've been going through in life have been a direct derivative of us in our unconscious or unconscious subconscious basically symbols that we have the way that we're thinking about the world right now. That's really something like I feel like can sum up like all the problems that we have here in humanity. The way that we think about planet Earth, the way that we think about our bodies, our vessels, the way that you think about yourself as in relationship to this whole grand scheme thing in what we're going to call in what is humanity and what is the mass consciousness and what is everything, you know. And people be fully able, but people don't be stocked with the right knowledge to be able to speak, you know, and to be able to have a perspective about things, you know. You really can't have a perspective on something like if you haven't experienced and if you're not knowledgeable or can at least refer yourself back to information that is credible and that can put you on some kind of level to where you can speak about things. You know, this is really a general statement like that I'm making, but what I'm speaking about is consciousness, like within life, the way that the mind works. You know, like the way that the mind works, like with this physical reality. You know, it's a little bit deeper than what a lot of y'all be thinking. I'm gonna continue to say this until I get more views. I say that with a pause, but I'm really running off of a lot of information that I got from the 13th Sun, from him on down to motherfucking Aquarius Sun, motherfucking I go modern like Enoch the Freestyle Prince, 603 Joey. You know, like if you went to all them Enoch the Freestyle Prince, a lot of the time I feel like he kind of be going off of things that he be feeling within himself, you know. But like I don't be wanting my feelings to get in the way of like the message like that I'm trying to bring. So like that's what I feel like the difference would be between me and somebody like some of them people is that I be wanting to bring you the truth. Like me saying like that I saw the Anunnaki within my head. I saw the Anunnaki within myself and saw later when I did research about the Anunnaki that there was beings that looked at exactly like what I saw within my head before I went and did research on it. Standing in the same poses, you know. If that's not big, you know, I don't know what is. I could chant this until I die. But it's your boy Black King 91, 5 minutes in, 5:10 in, 5:13 in. This video is about how um, the subconscious symbols like in the mind. How when we be looking at shit and like we automatically judge how we feel about something by how it looks to your physical eye. And with your carnal eye, you're not going to be 100% correct. Like with your carnal physical eye, like with this 3D eye, like that we run with and that we rely on to gain most of our information. Walking here through life, using your eyes, you're probably gonna use your eyes to get probably about 70% of the information that's like going on around you at any given time. All the rest is heard, or you felt something. You can feel the vibrations like in the air. You can feel the wind blowing past you. It could be like probably like fucking 50% sight, fucking 30% what heard, 20% felt type shit. Like let's just say that, like for the sake of the argument, But let's really trip off like the way that like we're gaining information about our surroundings and what's going on around us, Because the way that we view the world at mass is really not. You see, I'm not gonna say that it's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say that it's not something like a lot of things like that we be lending our energy to don't be things like that's imperative to our evolution. Don't be things like that's imperative to us getting to the next level. Granted, it feels good. Granted, you're doing what you wanted to do. Granted, you feel as if you had power because you can make that decision. Let's really trip out the way that like we feel and like how we feel that we have to do things, y'all. Despite like what we gotta do, like let's put like a certain standard, like a certain like point that you won't go past. That's the things like that you won't do to yourself and to fellow man. These are our decisions that I have made within myself, But man, let me speak a little bit more on the topic. The fact that when we look at things, like the fact that when I look at my jacket, I look at it like a jacket. The fact that when you see a bum on the street, you see that man clothes torn, clothes tattered, you automatically think of the bum, and that could make you discredit everything that man says out of his mouth. But in all actuality, this man is a Harvard graduate, and this man has the bachelor's, master's degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man has degrees on top of degrees and can speak on things in depth that like you couldn't imagine on speaking on, And could actually have information that's vital somewhere, but he's just not in the right place to apply that knowledge, And you don't have nothing to do with his knowledge, so you hear it and you just discredit it and you throw him to the side. You know what I'm saying? But it's somewhere like where that knowledge go, like where that shit that's coming from his mind goes. It's somewhere where it goes, People today are just we're too scattered. Like that togetherness is like just like not there, Pure and simply, that togetherness isn't there, That's something that would bring us light years ahead if we was just together, if we just loved one another and like could like care for one another, The same way that you care for your mother or your sons or something like that. You care about the people, all the people that surround you, Do you know like what that would do for planet Earth? You don't know what they'll. I'm gonna tell you right now, like what they would do for planet Earth, that would bring higher dimensional beings, give them a place where they could come and they could feel good about coming and speaking with us. Because right now, the place that we're really not in a place where we can receive beings that live on higher frequencies and that are less dense. Because when they phase down into density, it could be hard to live with a bunch of beings, to come around a bunch of beings that really don't have no reference point, that really don't even just run in a pure love. You know, like you can approach and like they don't automatically feel fear. If they was to like approach us like in a mass form, like that would change the way that people live. Think about the difference between when you live in love and when you live in fear. We live under a government that run us because they got tanks and they got nukes and they got this and that and that. That might be shit that we downplay, you know. But yeah, this video is getting ready to stop. We'll probably do a part 2 to this. It's your boy Black King 91. This video was about our subconscious symbolism. I probably kind of went off a little bit of topic, but I'm gonna probably do a part 2 to this, part 3 to this. Subconscious symbolism is what I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna let y'all have this one. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video, delete some videos like from my phone, and I will be back at your face. It's your boy Black King 91 back in this thing. The 91. I'm not gonna start.